Who you are is defined by what you're willing to struggle for. The desire for more positive experience is itself a negative experience, and paradoxically, the acceptance of one's negative experience is itself a positive experience. Life is essentially an endless series of problems. The solution to one problem is merely the creation of another. Unhealthy love is based on two people trying to escape their problems through their emotions for each other. To be happy, we need something to solve. Happiness is therefore a form of action. Don't just sit there. Do something. The answers will follow. This is the most simple and basic component of life. Our struggles determine our successes. Maturity is what happens when one learns to only give a fuck about what's truly fuckworthy. Our crisis is no longer material. It's existential. It's spiritual. We have so much fucking stuff, and so many opportunities that we don't even know what to give a fuck about anymore. The more something threatens your identity, the more you will avoid it. In my life, I have given a fuck about many people and many things. I have also not given a fuck about many people and many things. And like the road not taken, it was the fucks not given that made all the difference. Being wrong opens us up to the possibility of change. Being wrong brings the opportunity for growth. Don't hope for a life without problems, the panda said. There is no such thing. Instead, hope for a life full of good problems. Not giving a fuck does not mean being indifferent. It means being comfortable with being different. It turns out that adversity and failure are actually useful and even necessary for developing strong-minded and successful adults. We are defined by what we choose to reject, and if we reject nothing, we essentially have no identity at all. But a true and accurate measurement of one's self-worth is how people feel about the negative aspects of themselves. We're apes. We think we're all sophisticated with our toaster ovens and designer footwear, but we're just a bunch of finely ornamented apes. We are responsible for experiences that aren't our fault all the time. This is part of life. We can be truly successful only at something we're willing to fail at. If we're unwilling to fail, then we're unwilling to succeed. The more you pursue feeling better all the time, the less satisfied you become, as pursuing something only reinforces the fact that you lack it in the first place. Self-awareness is like an onion. There are multiple layers to it, and the more you peel them back, the more likely you're going to start crying at an inappropriate time. Sadly, to deny one's negative emotions is to deny many of the feedback mechanisms that help a person solve problems. A more interesting question, a question that most people never consider, is, what pain do you want in your life? What are you willing to struggle for? Because that seems to be a greater determinant of how our lives turn out. Wanting positive experience is a negative experience. Accepting negative experience is a positive experience. Action isn't just the effect of motivation. It's also the cause of it. Life is about not knowing and then doing something anyway. I have both some good news and some bad news for you. There is little that is unique or special about your problems. That's why letting go is so liberating. If suffering is inevitable, if our problems in life are unavoidable, then the question we should be asking is not how do I stop suffering, but why am I suffering, for what purpose? The fact is, people who base their self-worth on being right about everything prevent themselves from learning from their mistakes. They lack the ability to take on new perspectives and empathize with others. They close themselves off to new and important information. Don't hope for a life without problems, the panda said. There is no such thing. Instead, hope for a life full of good problems. To not give a fuck about adversity, you must first give a fuck about something more important than adversity. Remember, pain serves a purpose. Many people become so obsessed with being right about their life that they never end up actually living it. You will never be happy if you continue to search for what happiness consists of. You will never live if you are looking for the meaning of life. We don't always control what happens to us, but we always control how we interpret what happens to us, as well as how we respond. Shitty values involve tangible external goals outside of our control. Better values are process-oriented. Certainty is the enemy of growth. If there really is no reason to do anything, then there is also no reason to not do anything. True happiness occurs only when you find the problems you enjoy having and enjoy solving. Because here's another sneaky little truth about life. You can't be an important and life-changing presence for some people without also being a joke and an embarrassment to others. The key to a good life is not giving a fuck about more. It's giving a fuck about less. Giving a fuck about only what is true and immediate and important. No truly happy person feels the need to stand in front of a mirror and recite that she's happy. Life is essentially an endless series of problems. Nobody makes it through life without collecting a few scars on the way out. Everything worthwhile in life is won through surmounting the associated negative experience.